Boom! What's up, everybody? We got a quick little video here, mostly kind of just discussing and talking about our experience. We ended up heading up to the Detroit Red Wings equipment sale. I've been wanting to do that for a couple years now. Finally, actually caught on to when it was and actually got some of the details. So, kind of planned on it. It started at 9 a.m. So, we kind of didn't really get first dibs or anything. It was since we're down in Ohio, about an hour and a half. So, um, head up there and kind of with an open mind on what to get. So, shout out to Colby on TikTok. He is from around like the California, Utah area. He ended up he made some videos talking about he would go to Anaheim's equipment sale and Utah's, and like Anaheim's was just crazy deals, like $25 for gloves. I think he said pants for 75 to 100, and a bunch of other, like, just crazy pickup steals. So I was thinking potentially, obviously the Red Wings is probably a little bit better hockey market than like the Ducks and Utah's even still. So I was assuming that prices were probably going to be a little bit higher. Um, but yeah, anyways, we get up there. Everything's kind of picked over, but I was surprised with the amount of stuff left, which is also kind of concerning. Before going up to it and seeing the prices were pretty expensive overall. Like, average skate price, I would say, would probably be three. Actually, no. If considering the higher end, probably like 400 to 450. You had a ton of that were a bunch were signed by like DeBrincat and like I think Rasmussen. So a couple were signed, and those had like price tags of like 1,000 plus. And then you had some lower ones that were not as bad, but still like 300, 350. So I kind of went into it at going in like if the sticks weren't gonna be like 75 to 150 bucks, then I probably wasn't gonna get anything if there wasn't something decent. So, like I said, or the sticks onto the sticks, they were kind of like I was hoping that there was gonna be some more like pro stock sticks like that were just left over unused. Um, that were kind of sold for a little bit cheaper, or even older ones, but that wasn't the case. It was mostly like all leftover, even mostly game used from Larkin, Cider, Comfort, Raymond, a ton of DeBrincat sticks. um, so they were all kind of, like I said, game used, which means you never really know about the condition. Cider sticks, I think, were 800 each. Larkin, I kind of forget, but and he also had a ton of different brands and everything, which was it was cool to see the different codes on everything. The only one I was actually considering stick wise was JT Comfort. JT Comfort, he had the Tracer wrap, but it was actually 2N Pro XL, which is cool, and it was a righty. His was like 165. The cheapest stick was Rasmussen left-handed. He had like 7 of them that were it was like $93. I don't know why it was so cheap, but maybe it's because they were so tall and lefty, but they were like 93 bucks. Anyways, sticks were kind of out of the equation. I didn't really want to spend that much just on one stick that was used and not even the tracer build and blah blah blah, all that stuff. So we ended up looking around. Gloves were outrageous. It was crazy the amount of Patrick Kane, not even gear, but gloves. They had a full crate just for his. And I know, like on Bauer's video, Wild Brothers, he said that he uses like a different pair of gloves every game, or at least a different pair of palms. I don't know. He probably is upwards of 70 gloves a year. Had a full crate, and each one was like 500 plus. And the thing is, like, I get it. It is that you can go two routes. You can kind of go a collector pricing route, or you can go trying to get rid of the equipment and, you know, sell it as a purpose for other people to use. Obviously, they went with more of the collector's route, and you know, rightfully so. They're the Red Wings. They got a lot of names. A lot of people are diehard fans, including myself. So it is what it is. Anyways, let's kind of break down what we got a little bit. One, my dad got a nice like long sleeve black Fanatics team issued shirt. I think all the shirts are $25 each, which isn't bad, but still a used shirt. It is a cool shirt. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying 25, you know, it could have been less and they could have got rid of a lot more, I think. So I don't know where he even put that, but he doesn't skate or anything, but he loves Red Wings, so he got two sets of shoes, and the shoes were $45, which I think is pretty respectable considering condition of like all of them. They were all pretty similar. One is the Adidas Ultra, or they're not Ultra Boost, they're just Boost. I don't know the code name or anything like that, but they're the all gray, and they got every single one obviously has their, you know, handed out to the team members. So he ended up getting the first set. These are 59, and considering that they're Adidas, that was before the Fanatics move. These probably were, you know, Bertuzzi's shoes. It's just, if you look at it like that, it's a cool little thing. So they were probably issued to Bertuzzi's, um, Tyler Bertuzzi, when he was there. But you never know for sure. But I'm going on a pretty big limb. They probably were. And then he also got these sick New Balance trainers. These ones have the 27 on the back. So if you're going off of that theory, these will be Rasmussen's, and yeah, these are 12s anyways. So, you know, if you consider, you know, the height of the dudes and everything, it could probably check out, I'd say. So, two pretty cool sets of boots he got. And then the shirt. So he made out pretty good for it all. For myself, like I said, I wasn't really going to go and just splurge a bunch on sticks and everything if it wasn't cheap. Gloves were all pretty expensive. There was literally one helmet left, which is unfortunate because the helmet was like 150, 165. I probably would have got a helmet instead of all of this if it was like in good shape, my size or whatever, and around like that 150 mark. But there was just Erik Gustafsson's helmet left, and so no helmet. The sets of gear were so expensive, and trying to think what else. Even like the shells were like pant shells were like 150 plus, and pretty, like a lot of them were pretty beat up. So, you know, it is what it is. But anyways, skate table. I was really drawn to the skates because I would like to get maybe a cool pair of player skates or whatever, or player issued skates. So I was looking. I ended up closing in on these CCM Jet Speed FT4 Pros. I got the thing on them here, but so these were literally the cheapest ones on the table. I think I went through a few times. They were 225, not horrible. They are the Mars Blade converted. They have the Mars Blade conversion on it, the I2s. So let's get a quick look here. Really good condition. Inside's like really solid. They don't have a player name. Obviously, I think that is why they were so cheap. They don't have a name or name or number on the tongue, which is probably how they kept track of most of them, because they all have, you know, some type of personalization. So, anyways, I was like, yeah, they looked similar to my size. I saw the holder was 272, so I'm like, you know what? I threw it on, fit really nice, even without an insole. They didn't have insoles, so I threw my own in. Fit really nice. I'm like, I carried him around. My mind thinking, you know, I haven't tried Mars Blade before on ice. I love the rolled blades. I have them on 2 sets of skates. Have had them for years. Love them. I've never actually tried on ice, and it's just kind of ended up being the perfect situation. Plus, it's got the plus steel, whatever Edge Plus, I think. Yeah, so I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do it. It's a total custom FT4, which I think is probably the first year they even did that, fully customizable option. And then so yeah. The other consideration was a set of true custom, like full custom skates that were Robbie Fabry's. Robbie Fabry, I think that's who it was. He was with the team a few years ago. They look similar in size. They had like the Bauer Tuch holders, 272 or 263. So it looked like it could have been similar, but I know with those, it's completely molded to their foot. So I was like, and like I said, they were 275, so a little bit more expensive. I think this was a no-brainer to come home with something. I wanted to anyways. Went all that way. Might as well get something if possible. So I'm really happy with them here. I can't wait to try it. We're gonna make a full video doing review, mostly over the Mars Blade i2. I know it's a kind of a crazy concept in general. I did check the thing inside, the little plastic piece that you can adjust is a 26 foot, which is, I looked up, I'm pretty sure that's the flattest, or it gives you the longest. I don't really know the correct terminology, but I think it's the best for stability, which is what I was mainly concerned about, honestly. And I don't know where I would get those unless it was from Mars Blade or anything. So we will see how they go. We're going to skate with these, I think, on Thursday night in 3-on-3, where it's kind of doesn't mean as much. And we'll have the GoPro on. So that should be very interesting. Anyways, I like the look. Usually I'm a Bauer guy. Everyone, if you've watched, knows that. So the CCM, I've had one CCM before, and they were all right. I didn't mind them. I like the Bauer branding and all that junk, but it is what it is. I'm excited to get some different stuff in. I like trying everything. So yeah, that's gonna pretty much wrap it up here. Kind of my experience, for future reference too. It's like I said, it's more of a collector's priced out thing. So, which is fine. You just got to be aware of that. So anyways, appreciate everyone tuning in here. Stay tuned for Thursday's skate with the Mars Blade. I don't know. I could either hate it or love it. I think that's pretty much the verdict for everybody that has tried Mars Blade. I think that's kind of what I've gathered. But anyways, appreciate everyone tuning in. Peace. Let's go Red Wings.